Welcome to the 2019 CES convention. Time to see the latest technology for today's consumers. Now from somewhere on the convention floor, here's Ed Bernstein.
You know, the CES show offers technology of the future. We're about to embark. We're going to take off and show you what's going to happen in the next 10 years. I'm with Scott Cohen from Samsung. And you know, I have a big problem, Scott. Yeah. I get hungry, open my refrigerator, doors open, I stand there for 10 minutes sometimes looking at what am I going to eat here? How is Samsung going to help me?
You know, standing there with the doors open is a big waste of energy, so knowing what's inside your fridge would be of big importance. Samsung Family Hub fridges actually have cameras inside. With this large screen, we can actually see what's inside before we even open it. What's really great new this year is Samsung's using Bixby Vision, which are the cameras inside the fridge to now identify your foods. What it can then do after identifying your food is suggest some recipes. And what we're really showcasing here at CES is once you've selected your recipe, the fridge can now communicate with your smart oven and preheat it and set it up so that you're ready to prepare your meal.
Right, because that also is a big problem. Like, how long do I cook something, at what temperature? So what you're saying, there's communication between the refrigerator and the oven. So it sets the temperature, sets the time, and whether bake, broil, sets the mode as well.
Yeah, it sets everything up for you, and what that's allowing you to do is spend more time preparing your food. So it's going to save you time, and it's also going to keep you focused on the ingredients and actual preparation.
Now this is a very handsome looking refrigerator.
Yeah, it's the Family Hub. It's a French door, 4-door flex. So we are using French door at the top with 2 drawers at the bottom. This fridge is also available in a traditional 4-door, where one of the 4 compartments can actually be switched from freezer back to fridge as needed.
But you know, I did not notice any cameras on the inside.
Yeah, you know, people wonder where the cameras are. People want to know, do I need to get dressed up to look into my fridge? Will anyone see them? And actually, the cameras are hidden on the door behind you. And they're actually in this little lip here. And they actually take a picture every time the door closes right before the light goes off.
Unbelievable.
What we can then do is we can look at view inside the fridge. And this is what we're seeing inside the fridge. And as you can see, the camera and Bixby Vision has scanned the food and has identified apple, salmon, we got some meat, we got potato. So that if I wanted to now make something with these ingredients, I don't have to stand there with the doors open, letting all that cold air out and wasting energy. I can say maybe I'd like to make something with salmon, something with potatoes, and then say search recipes. And what we'll find here is a bunch of different recipes. So now I know things I can make that maybe I wasn't even thinking of before.
So all I now need is somebody to do the actual preparation.
That's right. What we're hoping is by using our electronics, communicating with each other, setting everything up, it'll give you more time to do that food preparation.
So, all right, we talked about how this communicates with the oven. Here is the oven. Looks like any other typical oven.
This is part of our chef collection oven. So, you know, besides doing the traditional things of cooking with an oven or having a stovetop, it is Wi-Fi enabled so that when the refrigerator is calling for the oven to preheat and get prepared for the meal that we're going to make, it can be done automatically, saves you time, and if your hands are messy, you don't have to touch the knobs. But in addition, when we're using the stovetop here, it uses Bluetooth to speak with the hood here so that the fan will actually come on automatically. And what we're looking to do, again, is keep you focused on that food preparation and less focused on the electronics that make it all happen.
Right, so you can communicate, once again, the temperature, the time, the mode, and also, at the same time, control the fan and the hood.
Correct. So everything's going to happen automatically, and it could be started from your choices at the Family Hub fridge. And again, when your electronics are working for you, it frees up more time for you to do better food preparation.
You know, Scott, as television screens get larger and larger, at the same time, they get a little bit more obnoxious, for lack of a better word, on my wall. You know, you got this big rectangle sitting on your wall. Samsung has figured out a way around this.
That's correct, yeah. One of the pain points customers were telling us is as they went from smaller 32 and 36 inches TVs up to 55 and 65, there's this big black rectangle on the wall that we needed to deal with. And what Samsung decided to do was come up with a TV called the Frame. And what the Frame does is when you shut the TV off, you're no longer enjoying TV on it. It doubles as a piece of art. So for Samsung, we manage the largest art store, so thousands of pictures are up there for you to select and choose from with this subscription, or you can upload your own art. What makes this really unique and fit into any decor is after you choose your TV and size, you get to choose the color of the bezel. If you would like a light wood, a dark wood, white or black matches your decor best. so it's going to fit in. In addition, when you have a picture mounted in your house, a lot of times you have it matted. You have that color frame around the frame, and Samsung allows you to customize that as well. So when the TV is off, it looks like you've selected a piece of art for the room, and no one knows you have a TV.
Emily, let's talk about those details. So you're talking about the different color frame. Here we have a beige. Here's an off-white, a brown. There's a black over there, and now we're looking at some of the artwork. But when you saw the ballerina in the background, that was actually the TV components.
Right, yeah, so this is showing TV. This is a Samsung 4K TV with high dynamic range. It has the traditional inputs as a regular TV. However, this one, when it turns off, instead of going into a power off mode, it goes into a low power consumption mode and shows art. Now what Samsung did is we also put a motion sensor on it, so when you leave the room, the art disappears and the TV goes into an off state, and then when you pop back in, the art's there, so no one ever sees that black rectangle on your wall. Now, when we started our art store with hundreds of pictures, it was great, but now that we're at thousands of pictures, our customers' pain point is finding the right picture for their room. So Samsung needed to find a better search or way to curate your art. So now Samsung allows you to say, tell the TV, my room is painted green, and we'll bring up all pieces of art that would match in a green decor. Or maybe you want a painting, or specifically a drawing, or specifically a photograph. You can tell the TV that, and it'll search through thousands of pieces of art to find the right art for you. However, many customers may want to have their own family pictures, family portraits and things, so you can upload your own art to the TV as well. You don't have to have just one piece straight across. You can have, 3 pictures up, 1 big picture and 2 smaller ones. So there are a lot of different options you can do to customize the frame to fit into your decor. But it does answer the question of getting rid of the black rectangle on the wall. That you'll never see when you have a frame TV.
And also, I fight with my kids all the time. Turn the television off, turn the TV off. I don't have to fight with them anymore.
That's right. Now when it goes off, it's art and it's doing something. And what we really did find is that for Samsung customers, now that they're getting bigger screens, yes, they do want to watch TV on it, but they are looking to get some added enjoyment when they're not watching TV and still feel like they're getting some value. And being able to use it as a frame piece of art, it's still a conversation piece and it blends in with any decor.
And it's changeable, as Scott said. Unbelievable. And by the way, the pixels, is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Look pretty damn good here.
Yeah, so the TV is designed to, when it shows art, to really look like a picture frame. We didn't want it to look like, if you're looking at pictures on your phone, it looks like digital pictures. Yet when these show art, they don't look like digital pictures because of the way the TV was designed.
Now, it looks to me like Samsung is branching out a little bit into the medical world, because we have some devices here that are really aiding people, not only for athletic issues, but also medical conditions.
So Samsung is showing GEMS, which is robotics for people to wear that may have disabilities. We're showing 3 specific cases here. The first one that we're showing here is for the hip. So if you have a hip joint issue, this exoskeleton can offer you a 20% assist with your walk, keep you moving just as if you were healthy, even with your slight disability. We as well wanted to make sure that we took care of the rest of your leg, so we brought another piece here for your ankle, which keeps your ankle movement and gait correct so that you can walk correctly even with some injury. And then finally, we also brought something for the knee, which again helps with lifting, carrying, and walking upstairs.
Okay, so the first one, the hip one, I understand. So if you have a sore hip on one side, you put on the device and it will kind of compensate for the weakness in one hip and correct that.
That's correct, so that you can walk correctly without having the pain and without having to put all that extra emphasis on it.
Okay, now over here with the ankle, let's come over here so viewers can see it. This works a little bit differently.
Right, so what it's doing is it's helping guide your ankle movement for your step up and down so you don't drag your toe, and making sure that your step is correct.
Now finally, the one we probably all need the most when it comes to the knees, right?
Right, everyone's got bad knees, especially being here at CS on your feet for so many hours a day. So this here is something that you would be able to wear. It can help with lifting, it can help with walking, and it can also help with going up and down stairs.
Wow. So this looks to me like you're ready for a moonwalk almost.
Yeah, it does look like you're ready for a moonwalk, and these are just in addition to some of the other Samsung robots that we did bring, one of which is called Samsung Bot Care, which is a robot that can be put in a home with elderly. It could take their vitals, it could remind them to take their medicine, and what's really cool about Samsung Bot Care is that can be managed remotely. So if this isn't maybe in your parents' home or something of that nature, you can check remotely if your parents took their medicine or even check their vitals from wherever you are.
Great products.
Thank you very much.
David, what exactly does Furion do?
Well, Furion specializes in the mobile living sector and the luxury technology sector as well. We operate across RVs, yachts, home and commercial. And we produce smart technology to assist people with luxury living.
Now, we're sitting here on this yacht, which I understand is about $4.5 million yacht. Now, what kind of technology can you introduce that make that yachting experience so much easier for people?
Well, this is the Adonis, and we would like to think of it as the world's the most intelligent yacht ever built. It is equipped with Furion devices throughout, and all those devices are connected and integrated into one system that is powered by artificial intelligence. We are calling it a virtual concierge and a virtual assistant, and everything is controlled through voice technology, but also through a number of different touchscreens throughout the yacht.
For example, let's break that down. Like, what help would it be with navigation?
For instance, you can plan your trips very easily through this system. It's a smart technology, as I said, and it understands our preferences, our travel history, and it learns and it can make suggestions about where you might want to go on any particular day. It can read the systems within the boat, knowing your fuel levels, knowing your power systems, and it can make notifications and alerts for your captain when you're en route or planning a trip. It'll monitor your food stocks, your water stocks, and it can provide notifications and then facilitate the online booking when it actually comes to stocking your boat. You can very easily, with one voice command, set all the preferences in the boat to a certain mood or a certain scenario that you want to achieve. So if you want to chill out and relax, just say, "Hey Angel, play some chill out music," or activate a chill out mode, and the whole boat will react and respond to this mood and scenario that you want to initiate.
But if you could say, "Hey, take me to St. Bart's," or "Take me somewhere," and you don't have to, or you have to give longitude, latitude.
No. Well, what Angel is going to do is she's going to notify the captain, and the captain's really going to do the heavy lifting on the transportation. But once you tap in your suggested destination, Angel's going to make recommendations for what we can do with that location. She's going to recommend restaurants that are available based on our previous preferences and based on the kind of restaurants that we've eaten before. She's going to be able to make smart recommendations. We're going to find the best restaurant. She's going to be able to recommend a number of different activities that are available. If there's a show on at our next destination, we're going to know about it. She's going to recommend it. So our trip is really kind of laid out for us by Angel.
All of that, and it will heat up my jacuzzi for me as well, huh?
You've got bubble and temperature control from
bubble and temperature, right? So they get how much intensity I want that jacuzzi. I mean, here we are in the Las Vegas Convention Center.
Yeah.
I understand it's the first time we've had a yacht of this size in the in Las Vegas Convention Center, and it came from Turkey, you said?
Well, it was initially based in Turkey, and it took a monumental effort to get it, across continents. This is not a small yacht. This is a 70-foot luxury yacht, and to be able to transport this across the road, it took a huge amount of effort from a number of different parties. So we're just delighted we could get it here and show it to the people at CES.
Close down some highways in order to get here.
We definitely closed down some highways. There was a police escort to get us here. So it was a huge effort, but we made it.
It almost cost us $4.5 million to get it here.
Well, not far off.
We're going to take a look at some of this technology that you talked about.
Wonderful.
So this is up here in the main cabin.
Yep.
And we have some features up here with Angel.
Yeah. So listen, you can ask Angel to help you out with the simplest of tasks or much more elaborate ones. So we could begin by saying, "Hi, Angel. Turn down the blinds."
Okay, closing the blinds now.
Excellent. And I guess at the core of everything we do is about mobile living, mobile technology. So trip planning is one of the core functions of Angel. So if we're looking to plan a trip for the day, we can immediately begin interacting with Angel. We could say, "Hi, Angel. What's the weather like today in California?"
It is sunny today in California. Would you like to plan a trip?
Yes, please show me some destinations.
I am showing you the destinations now.
Over here you can see our user interface where Angel has suggested a number of different locations. We can see the suggestions that she's made, and this is based on our travel history and on our preferences. So potentially, let's just say we'll go for a trip to Catalina today.
I will inform the captain to set sail to Catalina. Here is a list of restaurants in the area.
So again, Angel's familiar with our preferences, what kind of restaurants we like, what kind of activities we like to do. And based on that, she's made a recommendation for what we can do when we get to our destination. So let's book a meal in Aquarius. Hi, Angel. Book me a table for 2 at 8:30 at Aquarius.
I will now request a reservation at Aquarius.
So there you go. We've set sail to Catalina. We've got a restaurant booked, and everything's ready to go.
That's great. David, thank you very much. Thank you, Furion. I'm going to stay here if you don't mind and relax a little bit in this jacuzzi. Probably change in that shower downstairs.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Hi, I'm with Kyle over at Bell. Now, you guys are famous for making helicopters, right?
Yes, we make, produce and certify helicopters today.
And what is the difference between this, what we're looking at here, and the helicopter? And what is this called?
So this is Bell Nexus, and it's a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that takes off like a helicopter, flies like an airplane, then lands again like a helicopter. So the big difference between this and a helicopter is it can fly much more quietly and more efficiently than a helicopter.
And what is the speed of this vehicle?
So we should be able to fly at least 150 miles per hour.
And do you pilot it similar to a helicopter?
Well, so it's actually a fly-by-wire aircraft. So we're working today to determine what the easiest way to actually pilot it will be. Over at our future flight controls, we're evaluating a number of different types of pilot crew stations to allow pilots to operate it more easily than a traditional helicopter.
Would that include autonomous piloting as well?
Yes, absolutely. So from day one, we're actually designing it to be an autonomous vehicle. We see for a logistics market moving goods that it could actually be an unmanned logistics vehicle. Now, flying people as an air taxi, we expect to have a pilot on board for the near future at the very least. And that's where we're working to reduce the pilot workload to make it a safer aircraft overall.
So one day I'm going to have FedEx just using this vehicle to drop a package off, or I can use it to take a trip down to Miami.
Yeah, so we don't necessarily see this vehicle dropping a package off at your front door, but we would see it for maybe a FedEx or a UPS or someone to transfer packages in between their distribution centers, allowing you to receive packages faster.
Let's take a look at the inside, okay?
Sure.
Kyle, this is quite comfortable in here.
Yeah, we're designing it to be almost like an experience of a car that you're used to.
Right, but it's more similar, in my opinion, to experiencing a helicopter. I mean, the visuals with the windows, and other than you have nothing on the floor to look through.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that it's even quieter than a helicopter too.
So, what do you anticipate to be involved in taking off, landing? Where would that occur? Would it occur at a heliport or at your own property?
Yeah, so we're actually working with a number of different organizations, including Uber, to build a network of vertiports, which allow us to take off. Those could be at an airport, they could be on the tops of buildings, they could be on parking garages. So essentially a network of places where where these vehicles can land and take off.
And the fuel use of this would be what?
So what we're showing today is a hybrid electric vehicle that flies with traditional jet fuel, but also has batteries on board to continue safe operation.
And what did you tell me? Did you tell me what the top speed of this was?
Yeah, 150 miles per hour.
150. And the typical helicopter's top speed would be what?
A typical helicopter will fly anywhere between maybe 110 to 140, 50 miles per hour. So similar to a helicopter, but more efficient and quieter.
What are these? What is this called? These are not propellers.
Yeah, so these are ducted fans. And the ducted fans allow us to take off vertically, and then they actually rotate 90 degrees and allow us to fly like an airplane. Those ducted fans are quieter than a traditional helicopter. They're also more efficient.
Hey, thank you so much, Kyle.
Yes, thank you.
In the Serengeti, the trail guards become rangers that are there 24/7 monitoring those trails.
Now, Paul, this is an example of how technology can save lives, animals, habitats, right? I mean, this is an incredible foundation, right? I heard you talking about Leonardo DiCaprio and National Geographic teaming up with Intel to do what exactly?
Well, really, the main player is a nonprofit named Resolved, and their whole purpose was to try to prevent poaching. 35,000 elephants killed a year. So they put cameras together out in the wilderness. Leonardo's foundation funded this, which provided us to get more cameras out there, but we were able to use the cameras to track these poachers and capture data that we could analyze.
Now, look, cameras have been around forever, right? I mean, it's not a technology breakthrough to have cameras.
Sure.
What is special about what you're doing here?
So that's why Resolve came to us, is the camera itself that they built had multiple chips that were used to try to capture the data. And every piece of image that they caught had to be sent to a data center to be analyzed. Our Intel Movidius VPU is the tiniest visual processing unit, and that uses AI technology that can reduce the size significantly and run powerful data to track these poachers in real time.
And it's also using infrared as well as motion detectors, so the camera is really sleeping unless there's movement.
Yeah, and really nothing of the camera is really Intel other than the chip. But together as like a tech ecosystem, the infrared, the motion sensor, and the chip together allows this 24 hours, allows it to conserve energy and perform it at a top speed.
And this started out of an interest to avoid poaching of elephants outside of the Congo?
Yeah, that's really what it was. It was a nonprofit that wanted to save these animals. Not only save it so they're not, the ivory isn't sold, but it was to conserve it, because in 10 years from now, if we don't do anything about this, the elephants will become extinct in that region, and that will have a long-term ecosystem damage to it.
Now, I understand here in the middle of the desert in Las Vegas, we've created a little miniature ecosystem.
That is true. That is true. What other place could you bring a safari from Africa to the middle of Las Vegas? It's pretty cool.
Well, and you have a camera somewhere in this jungle, right?
That's correct, yep.
And you and I are going to walk through it, and I probably won't be able to spot the camera, but the camera will spot us.
You won't be able to spot it. It's intended to be as small as possible, so nobody can find it.
Okay.
But let's go in. Okay, we got to quiet.
Okay, now I'm looking for cameras. I don't see any. I hear some crickets. I don't see any poachers here yet. Still walking through. Don't see a camera. Has a camera detected me? I don't know. We'll see in a minute. So we come out the other side. Oh, there we are, cutting through. Yes.
It's really a critical time to bring technology to the forefront in a way that it hasn't been before.
I get very aggravated when you go, on vacation, you see a bunch of tourists, walking around with the selfie sticks. I mean, how effective is it really? But you guys have some innovations that have changed all that.
We've created a magic erase selfie stick that disappears from every shot automatically.
When you say disappears, okay, how does it disappear?
So using a combination of our software and the way that the lenses work, it basically erases from the shot. So each lens is 200 degrees. When the lenses overlap and stitch together, they stitch the stick out, which is also in the blind spot of the camera.
Okay, so when I'm using this, I'm actually using a selfie stick, but when I play it back later, no selfie stick appears.
Completely gone. It's like you have a drone following you everywhere you go.
Okay, so how does the selfie stick work? Let me see how you actually use the application.
Okay, so the first thing that it does is it expands in 5 places. And you tighten it at each bracket stop.
Okay.
And after you tighten it, then you basically have your selfie stick that you can walk around with and shoot and film.
And this is adjustable?
This is totally adjustable. Right. So if you wanted to go down a stop, you could go down a stop. If you wanted to go down 2 stops, you could go down 2 stops, right. And you can have a short selfie stick. Now this actually is the portion that's attached to it on the end, right. Could act as a small tripod, but it also acts as something we call a bullet time handle.
Okay.
And bullet time was made popular by a movie called The Matrix, where you had a full 360-degree shot around Keanu Reeves as he was right. Dodging and evading bullets. that was made possible with 60 Nikon cameras and a ton of money. We do it with a $400 camera and an invisible selfie stick now.
Wow.
You want to see how it works?
Love that. Yeah, let's try it out.
Okay. So the first thing that I do, I'll open it back up. I'll turn the camera on. So there's a couple of different ways of connecting with
Let's
the
just
camera.
show this to our camera. So we see, actually, you can see the lens there.
And there's a lens on the back as well.
Right.
And this LCD screen will actually allow you to toggle between different settings, just like on a kind of like a GoPro.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to set it to bullet time mode. And as soon as I set it to bullet time mode, I can click record, and I'll hand the camera to you, and you can do your bullet time. Does that sound good?
Okay.
So what you want to do is you want to take it and spin it around your head on the axis, maybe like 4 times.
Okay, let me ask you to hold the microphone.
Okay. Sure.
And I'm not really a good shot, so stay clear.
Okay, no problem. Well, let's stand together, and you can just go above our heads.
Am I going too fast?
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's great. Okay, let's see what you got. Well done. That was your first bullet time?
First one ever.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Really good.
So now you're going to download this onto your iPhone.
Exactly.
And
so
then
there's a couple of different ways of getting this content. I can either plug a cable in and I can download it much faster, or if I'm on the go somewhere, every one of these cameras has its own Wi-Fi signal that it sends out.
Okay.
So I can connect to this camera anywhere in the world and see my content and download it.
Can we watch as you do that?
So our app is where the magic happens. And at heart, we're a software company, so we can do cool things like this. So if you take this camera, you're going to take it above your head. Okay, so this is your bullet time.
Right.
And now
It disappears.
it disappears and you're spinning it around your head and it's tracking around you.
The two of us, kind of with an aerial view, amazing. Now, is this product available now?
It is. It's been available for about a month.
Uh-huh.
And,
Where do we find it?
You can find it on insta360.com, or you can find it in any global Apple retail store. We're the only 360 camera available in Apple.
And what is the approximate cost of it?
It's $399 at retail, and the accessories are extra. Like the selfie stick is around $20. You have underwater housing. You have helmet mounts, chest mounts.
Underwater, I love it. Just take it with scuba diving with you.
Oh, so check this out. After this exports, I'll show you a really amazing video of our underwater housing. It's you can go 30 meters down without getting any water in it.
Wow. Beautiful.
You can go into little planet mode.
It's a great product.
Pretty awesome, right? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our show today here at the CES show at Las Vegas Convention Center. And you know what? I'm going to head out to St. Bart's. See you soon.